Okay, now I want you to think about this. Sketch possible points that are 2 units away from the origin. Okay? Understand the statement? You understand the question? Okay, so you need to sketch lah. X and Y. This is the origin. How will you describe the points on the circumference of the circle in layman's term? How will you describe all these points? A statement that describes everything. Huh? No. Actually, the answer is in my question already. So this over here is a statement that describes the circumference, right? Because every single point is 2 units away from the origin, which is the center of the circle in this case. Okay, hang on first. Now, for somebody who doesn't realize it is a circle, what would the thought process been like? So let's remove all this first. I want a point, a general point that is 2 units away from the circle. Let's say the point is over here. And this is supposed to be 2 units. Right? This is the center. Am I right? Let's call this point P. This point over here, let's call it P. And it has X and Y coordinates. So it's called X and Y. What is the information given to you in the question? What did the question say? 2 units away. Are you able to form an equation with this information? Okay, using the length of line segment. So what is the equation, the formula for length of line segment? OP, right? OP is given by square root. Okay, 0 plus. Why 0 plus? I thought we always minus x minus 0, or x minus 0, 0 minus x, doesn't matter. X minus 0 square plus y minus 0 square. What? Oh, so we get x square plus y square with a square root, right? That is, this over here describes the point P. Now, point P has x and y coordinates. I never give you any fixed x and y, right? Because they are infinite values of x and y. X, in this case, will range from maximum of 2 to minimum -2, because that was the diameter of the circle. Y will be maximum to minimum -2 also, because that's the diameter of the circle. So this over here, OP is equals to square root x squared plus y squared, and this is supposed to be equals to 2, because that was the radius that I gave you, right? Now, we usually don't like to have square root in our equation. So instincts tell you that, hey, let's just square it. X squared plus y squared equals to 2 squared, which is 4. This is the equation of a circle with a center of 0, 0, radius of square root 4, which is 2. Okay? Let's generalize this. If I don't have a circle with the origin as the center of the circle, so let's say I have a circle over here. This center, let's call it C, with the coordinates A and B. So this is A, this is B. Okay? Then I tell you that the radius is R. So you must know the difference of what A stands for, what B stands for, what R stands for. Faru, okay or not? Then this over here is a point P with the coordinates X and Y. This is X. And over here I've got Y. I want you to be able to describe point P in words. with respect to the point C. Think about how you will describe point P with respect to point C. Yes?
Is it y minus b units away?
Y minus b units away. Not exactly. Because y minus b units away, you're just considering the vertical distance. In layman's term lah. Layman's term, how is P related to C? P is the distance of R units away from C. P is R units away from C. Isn't it the same as over here? Also R units, R units, R units, R units. Right? So it describes a circle. Point P actually describes a circle. And we want to find the equation for point P. Then we see that actually there is a relationship between the x and the y coordinates. Okay? From the center C over here, I can draw a right angle triangle. Now this right angle triangle, can you find the base? Can or not?
Yes.
What's the base? Bigger minus smaller. X minus A. Okay, that's the base. What is the height? Y minus B. So can you find the hypotenuse?
Yes.
What is the hypotenuse given by?
X minus a squared.
Which is equals to R is equals to square root of x minus A square plus y minus B square. So x minus A square plus y minus B square equals to R square. Right? Based on this, and you compare with your diagram, what are the coordinates of the center of the circle? AB. Do you see AB appearing in your equation? We have x minus something. Then that something must be the x coordinate of the circle center already. Then we square it. Plus y minus something. And then that something must be the y coordinate of the center of the circle. Then this over here, r squared. You square root it, you get a radius. Okay so far? Okay, then let's try some questions. Obviously, r must be more than 0 lah. Radius cannot be less than 0. It cannot be 0 as well. So let's go to page 185. You see the table over there? Let's start with B. Okay, we've got x minus 1 square plus y minus 3 square equals to 16. What are the coordinates of the center? And the radius. So this is 1, 3. You must put brackets for the coordinates. Okay, fill them in right now. 1, 3. Then the radius is 4. This kind of thing, instantaneously write down the answer. Okay, part C. What is the center? And the radius? 5. Okay, let's skip part D. Let's go to part E. What is the center? 1/4 and negative 1.5. Radius? 2. Okay, now I'm ready to go on to part D. We've got x squared plus y minus 5 square equals to 1. What is the radius first?
1, square root 1.
Okay, square root 1 is 1. What is the y coordinate for the center?
5.
What is the x coordinate? You all know why it is 0?
Yes.
Okay, very good. For those who are shy and don't dare to ask why 0, because x minus 0 square is still equal to x squared. Exactly, that's why I left a for the last. The square root 1, so you get 1. Okay? Now for part A. X squared plus y squared equals to 9. What is the radius? 3. What is the center? You know why it's 0, 0 already? Simple enough? And then what happens if I give you, for example, part B. Let me copy down part B. Okay, so all of you know what is the center and radius for this circle. Let me expand it out. All can do expansion, right, of a square? Okay, let's see what we have. Therefore, x squared minus 2x plus 1 plus y squared minus 6x plus 9. Oh, yeah, 6y. Then minus 16 equals 0, right? Okay, x squared minus 2x plus y squared minus 6y plus 10 minus 16 is negative 6 equals to 0. Okay so far? Can you recognize that this is the equation of a circle? Can recognize or not? Not easy, right? Now I tell you how to recognize that this highlighted part is a equation for a circle. As long as you see x squared term, you see a x term, you see y squared term, you see y term, then you see a constant equal to 0 is a circle. If you see x squared y squared without the x and the y, is it? That is the 0 case law. It's still a circle. Okay, now, how do we get, it's easy, right, from the blue to the highlighter part. What if I give you this? Hey, class. What if I give you the highlighter part? I ask you for center of circle. I ask you for radius. Then how? What is the center of circle here? Can find or not? Do you know how to work backwards? I mean, if you can work backwards, you can get the center, right? If you work backwards, you can get the radius, right? Do you know how to work backwards?
No.
Yes, you do. At the start of the year, we did something called completing the square. Right? Okay, so let's try. Let's try. Okay, so watch now. I'm going to recap your completing the square. You know, completing the square, I usually give you questions like this. X squared minus 2x plus 5. Complete the square. So what you need to do is to x squared minus 2x, then you plus negative 2 over 2 square plus, minus. You plus already, then you must minus it away. Minus negative 2 over 2 square plus 5. So here we have x minus 1 square plus, okay, these three terms. Then minus negative 2 divided by 2 is 1, negative 1, right? Square, you get 1. So minus 1 plus 5, you plus 4. So this is completing the square. This is how we did it. Okay? But we only had x squared and x term. Another variation is that I give you y term law, or y squared plus 5y minus 3. Then you complete the square. Then you do the same thing. But now, we've got a combination. X squared, x, y squared, y. Not a problem. Let's do this part first. Okay? X squared minus 2x. Same thing. Copy down. X squared minus 2x. Then we want to add a certain number divided by 2 and we square it.
Negative 2.
Very good. So since you added it in, right? Are they equal now?
No, minus.
Minus it away. Negative 2 over 2 squared. Now, this is equal to this. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So on the other side, because I don't have space, let me erase this. For this part, I shall put it over here in blue color. We plus y squared minus 6y, then plus a certain number divided by 2 and I square it. What is that? Negative 6. So I must subtract it away again. Negative 6 over 2 squared. Am I right?
Minus 6.
Then minus 6 equal to 0. Minus 6 equal to 0. So there are two completing the squares inside. Next, let us continue.
X squared minus.
This is x
Minus 2x.
plus or minus?
X minus
Minus 1 square. Okay, because of this negative sign over here.
then minus 1.
Okay, so it's x minus 1 square. Go and revise it. Then I still need to minus 1. Okay? Now the blue color one. Plus This 3 over here,
Y
y
minus
3 square, then minus, this is a minus over here. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. Square, you get 9. So minus 9. Then you still need to minus 6. Alright? Continue. We get x minus 1 square plus y minus 3 square. Negative 1, negative 9, negative 10 equals 16. So what is the center? 1, 3, radius? 4. Same lah. Then x minus 1, y minus 3. X minus 1, y minus 3. Same. Okay? So, is your prior knowledge all important?
Yes.
Yes. Once you get them right, these are not a problem anymore. If your fundamentals are weak, you're going to have a hard time.
So what if they're going to complete the square when the x square, right, the coefficient is not 1?
When the coefficient is not 1, then you have to factorize off?
Even longer.
Yes. Okay. I want to turn your attention to page 189. Page 189. You see that there's something that's boxed up. It says x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equals to 0. See this equation over here? This is an equation of a circle, which I just told you, right? You see an x squared term, you see y squared term, you see x term, y term, you see a constant equal to 0. This is a circle. I have taught you how to convert this by completing the square back to the first equation that I taught you is known as the standard form. This one is known as the general form. This completed square one is known as the standard form. They are just names, okay? You must know how to convert from one to the other. Is it easier to go from here, standard to general, or from general to standard?
Standard to general.
Which one easier?
Standard to general.
Standard to general, very easy. Just expand. General to standard, you need to complete the square. In order for you to get the center and radius. Okay? Then you see, they write so strange, right? How come they write plus 2gx plus 2f? Why not just call it g and f? Got reason one. Because sometimes, if I give you standard form, very easy for you to find radius and center. If I give you general form, Mr. Wong taught you to complete the square. There is a shortcut. It requires you to memorize. Okay? So instead of completing the square all the time, you can choose to memorize. As long as you are given general form, you can take the coefficient of x, you take the coefficient of y. In this case, coefficient of x is 2g. Coefficient of y is 2f. The center is, from here straight away, center equals to negative g, negative f. That is why they chose to write it this way. Okay, let's verify whether it's correct or not. Let's look at the coefficient of x. Apparently, if I divide it by 2, I flip the sign. I'm supposed to get the center. Right? See, I take the coefficient of x, divide by 2, flip the sign, I get the center. Let's go back to this example. When I expanded it out, this is my... This one over here is my, what do you call it? General form. General form. Then this one is the equivalent standard form. Looking at the coefficient of x, in this case negative 2, I divide by 2, what you get? Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Then you flip the sign, you get 1, right? There. That's the center. The center, where did I write it? Center is 1. Okay, let's look at the y coordinate, the y value now. Coefficient of y. Apparently, if I take coefficient of y, I divide by 2, I flip the sign, I'm supposed to get a center. Let's see if it is true. Here, coefficient of y, negative 6. Divide by 2, negative 3. Flip the sign, 3. There you get a center. This is if you want to memorize, which I don't like to memorize. I rather complete the square because I'm good at it, which you should be good at it also. Then the radius, how do we get the radius? Okay, last part already. Radius is a bit harder. You find the equivalent, you'll see that radius equals to square root g square plus f square minus c. You want to memorize this? Up to you. I tell you, I never memorize. That's why I'm looking at the textbook. If you want to memorize, go ahead. You can use it. Alright? Homework for today is to complete page 188 and 189. It's just practice of your standard form, general form. Fill in the table.